Everything you need to know before buying a 350Z. Some of these things are very, very simple, but I didn't really think about it because I didn't know this car very well when I was walking around it. So I want to help you guys get to know this car a little bit better if you haven't been around one very much or haven't even gotten to drive one, etc. So first thing I would do is walk up to the car, inspect the outside. You know, some of these things, like this is torn right here, this window where this mirror connects. You know, you can look under, is there a fender liner or not? Like mine didn't even have fender liner, and all my wiring for my headlights are exposed. Everything with the washer fluid is exposed, that tank. Walking around this way, look at the door handles, like one side's black, one side's silver. This is pretty, you know, weather damage. If you're looking at it at night, you might not notice it like me. So we gotta wrap that or something. The rear doesn't have a fender liner. You can kind of look at where the, you know, how the bumper comes, how the fitment is. Like this one, I don't think it's been in a rear end accident. I think it was only the front, so that's why the bumper was messed up. But we just replaced that bumper. We just put it on the other day. But in the back, we just took this wing off, so it looks kind of bad. But like, look, you can kind of see like some rust spots and things like that. Like this car is definitely, you know, had been rained on. It's not sealed right. And then under the hatch, you can see if the struts work or not. Like mine luckily work, but there are some missing clips we got to replace. But the worst part about this car I didn't know, and I wish I would have looked, I'm so mad at myself, is you pull up the back carpet, and normally where you have a spare tire, there's no spare tire in this one, and it's rust. Like you can see this rust down here, like it's so bad. In the middle right here, it's just super cringy. Oh, Trevor, I found one of our tools. And then close this. I just did a rear windshield wiper delete, so you can check if it has one of those or not. We peeled this off too. We're gonna make it smooth. Other than that, you can kind of look inside the wheels and see how the brakes are, if it has spacers or not. We just took them off because we just got these new wheels. But yeah, you can kind of see if you see like a metal, you know, silver metal spacer. Just know that they've, you know, running spacers for wheel fitment and things like that. But walking around this way, let's pop the hood. So under the hood, this clip right here no longer exists that held the arm in place, so it kind of just wobbles right there. But that's fine, minor detail, just something to be aware of, very minor. Looking at the top, I bought one with a Kinetics intake manifold, and normally they are a like cast aluminum or something like that, or they're just silver color. But this one's black, so I knew it was aftermarket, and it obviously says Kinetics all over it. Usually you have an intake like this, or a stock intake box. And on this one right here, it has some sort of vacuum line delete, and then vented over here for oil consumption reasons, so it doesn't burn oil. That's something to be aware of. But like, I can see these bolts, like some of these things need washers, and they just freaking drilled it on. It's not the best. There are two belts you'll see right in front. It's a serpentine setup, similar. I don't know if it's technically serpentine because it's not one belt, but it's two. One's for the AC line, one's for your power steering and everything else like that. Your radiator is right here, your power steering fluid is right here, and your washer fluid is right here. That goes all the way down. And then also up here, like mine is pretty bunk. You can lift the whole thing up, that's where your battery's at. Look at this, like, these are just plastic clips we gotta replace, but just see if it's intact, see how the owner kept it. And then on the other side, there is the brake fluid, and this whole thing comes up as well. And that's all our brake master cylinder, etc. So if that's not intact, you know, it's just little details you can kind of nitpick people and try and work on price and be like, hey, those clips are missing, this is missing, what's this manifold, blah, 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 blah. You can check all the the bumpers. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips right here it should have. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. These cars aren't too crazy with motor issues. It's not like a 4-cylinder turbo where it's overly sensitive, but these cars are relatively cheap, so you kind of don't have too much to work with what you get. But I encourage you guys to kind of walk around, inspect a little bit now that you guys understand where things are at and you know what to look for. Unlike me, I didn't really know what to do. So I appreciate you guys watching the videos. We're building this thing wild, so I encourage you guys to subscribe. We have a bunch of fun things coming. We got exhaust we're picking up today. We got a spoiler setup we got to put on. Coilovers on the way as well. So it's gonna get wild. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.